Welcome back and thank you for making us the #1 breakfast show in the country. My name is Romeo Bisuka and of course I'm doing this with Malaki Villa. Now, my next guest thinks that we have got the discussion on music in politics twisted backwards. According to him, when you embark on a topic like music and politics, you're discussing content, message, visualization, collage or symbolism. You're not discussing people using their musical image to support a man or oppose him. No. You're discussing a message that comes with the drum and probably the ripples that the message creates at the end of the song. Well, according to my guest, he says artists are citizens and thus have the right to participate in the politics of their countries, just like the lawyers, the teachers, and the doctors do. Well, who is he? His name is Andrew Kagwa, and he's an arts and culture journalist at the Daily Monitor and our regular panelist right here on All Things Art. Thank you for having made the time to speak to us.
All right.
So when you say we have this whole conversation of music and politics twisted, what do you mean exactly?
Like you see, very many times you're going to see people that will call an artist or another politician to discuss music and politics. And guess what? At the end of the day, they will discuss how Full Figure is supporting Yoweri Museveni or how so-and-so is supporting an opposition politicians. And you're thinking, okay, why are we discussing people practicing their human right to actually participate in the politics of the country?
So like, the issue of Butcherman, the issue of Full Figure, it's not a question of whether or not they can participate in politics because
these people
it's their mandate and their constitutional right.
It's their mandate to actually support someone. But if you're going to discuss music and politics, we should actually be talking the content, the symbolism in these songs. If they are making videos, what exactly are we seeing in these videos that's talking politics? Even when they choose not to be as direct when they are talking politics. Or like, anyway, we're supposed to be discussing content as far as music and politics is concerned, because music influencing politics or politics influencing music is the whole thing of music and politics.
So what exactly is the music that influences politics? How does it come about?
The music that influences politics, you see, most of the times when people are in that space where, okay, the very first thing I would say is music is a culture and art is a culture. Art is the way of life. And every time people do not see something they like or dislike, they'll somehow talk about it. It's part of our culture. And when we express while we're talking about those things, some people will write, others will do paintings, and of course, musicians will sing about it. So others will choose to sing about love, which is okay. And the other people will choose to sing about what they are singing in the society. And that could be the politics.
And what we call conscious music. Right. So give us examples of this music in the recent past.
In the recent past, as far as Uganda is concerned,
as far as Uganda is concerned, and even Africa as a whole.
I think when it comes to Uganda, why I usually even think this is a very wrong conversation to have music and politics in Uganda when you're just talking about artists supporting a man.
It should be the message from the music that actually influences the decisions of the public.
Yes, it's because in Uganda, when you look at even the people that are fronted when it comes to discussion, to this discussion, some of them have been having songs like, say, well, like Waya Waya. Maybe some people actually like the song. Okay, we like the song, we dance to the song, but it's not a conscious kind of song. But when you're looking at Ugandan music, the 10 years could be quite hard. I don't know, was Bibuzo in this 10 years, the past 10 years, Bobby Wine, Bibuzo, I think Ronald Mainjas, Tuli Kubun Kenke. And when it comes to the rest of Africa, like I remember when Faust did This Is Nigeria, and the song kind of got him in trouble. You have some of the songs done by Fela's son.
You remember Bobby Wine's Ghetto song?
Yes.
In the Chogam period.
Yes, I remember.
And remember that song he also did about Jennifer Musisi. Yes. Tugambire Jennifer.
Yes, Tugambire Jennifer.
Yes, that is conscious music we are talking about. That but actually does talk about the issues affecting the people in society.
When it comes to this conversation, I'm usually trying to avoid pointing out many Bobby Wine songs because it's
but he's the only pertinent example you can give
he's mostly the only person that has been doing a lot of what you could be calling political sounds.
I see your point.
Yeah, when it comes to the people that are being like seriously, when was the last time Bebeku said something about something happening to us?
Yes. But you must admit that before Bebeku joined the NRM, he was also doing conscious music. Remember those songs he used to do? But after he made that major switch, I don't know what happened.
No, he did a couple of conscious songs like Guns and Bombs. That was like 2005. By that time, he had already made the switch, but at the moment, it will be very hard to hear Bebeku do a song like Guns and Bombs.
So what kind of influence would this kind of music, conscious music, have on the public as a whole?
You know, like I said at the beginning, that music or art is the way of life. When you put the message on the drum, the people will consume that message without knowing. It's way better than having someone preach to the people. It's way better than having a politician deliver something in a speech. For instance, I will tell you that when Bebeku releases a new song, regardless of what he decides to sing about, we shall know the entire lyrics to this song before we know what probably someone said when they appeared on a talk show here. Like that's the effect of music. Like it comes with a beat, it's an earworm. Like there are all these things that you will listen to it and you will take the message. I think that's the reason why many people that, many countries that have dictatorial situations, you will find people trying to avoid art over getting mixed into politics because it touches on the core person. Like it just gets to people without even trying so hard.
Music influencing politics. In the 1990s, Madonna and that band, and another band right there, they mounted a campaign to increase voter registration, using music to actually talk about the youth so that they participate in the electoral processes of their countries. Now, right here in Uganda, how best can we use music to actually bring those young people into the fold, which is voter registration, voter participation in that regard? Music and politics seems like they are brother and sister in that regard. One cannot do away with the other.
I think one of the most conscious political songs or political songs that are connected to the elections in Uganda has been Obululute Butwaula. Right now, if you're going to do a song that's going to talk about calling people to vote, it's easy. You just do a song and you put on yellow.
And that's it. You do a song and put on yellow.
Yes.
Achieve what exactly?
No, like let me tell you, if you go out and you tell people vote wisely, and you're putting on anything other than yellow, that's going to be an opposition song.
Okay, we are kind of trying to use music to actually engage the young people. Like, how best can our musicians put aside partisan politics? Because even in the 1990s, when Madonna kicked off this campaign, it was a non-partisan venture. How can we actually put our own artists in this fold, like a non-partisan venture?
I'm actually not so sure that Madonna was very non-partisan. I mean, it's the same way black people or black artists came and started asking people to go and register and vote when Obama was standing. You would ask yourself, okay, yeah, they were coming out in a very good faith, but why now? So, yes, at times people just look very non-partisan, but deep down, everyone can kind of see why they're doing it.
And you brought up a very interesting example. Obama, musicians helped him win. Bill Clinton, 1993. Musicians helped him win. Like I told you, they mounted that whole registration, having the young people to participate in the electoral process, and they were the majority.
But it was
so
for
in
a
Uganda
reason.
here, you understand that we make up 75 to 80% of the population, 70 to 80. So how best can we use music to bring these young people into the fold so that they can participate in the electoral processes of their country? You know very well, you find a young person, ask them what they think about politics in Uganda. The first thing they will tell you, I don't care about politics. So how best can we get these young people back into the fold, because they have the power and they wield it to actually choose the leaders they want?
Truth is, with the situation we're having at the moment, it's hard to use music for conscious purposes.
Why would that be?
Even if it's non-partisan.
Yes.
Do you know why? It's because a man came from nowhere and just took the ghetto to the parliament.
Wow.
Using a drum.
Wow. But of course, before that, he used the drum to actually affect some change in society. But then he realized
Yes,
just talking about the issue wouldn't cause any change. But then he wanted to get involved into the situation
At
himself.
that time, people did not believe in the drum that much.
Do they do now?
Until that landslide win.
Oh, yeah.
The way people look at music, trying to effect change, is all different. So you do not expect anyone to try to mount a campaign that's non-partisan, calling for people to register for vote, to register and vote, and he won't be thought to be an opposition person. That's why I said earlier, just put on yellow and ask people to go and register. Like, that song will play on the radios. At the moment, if you ask people to get Ndagamo, you're literally asking them to vote for a person.
So government wouldn't let you go ahead with that?
Yes.
Anyway, the High People Awards have an award for Best Political Song. Do you think any of the songs on the list can add any strength on the music?
Many of those songs served their purpose. I mean, Toka Kwa Barabara, I think, was an anthem for the FDC in 2016. I think another rap was also an anthem for NRM in 2011. Like, many of these songs served their purposes. And let's face the truth, like, You Want Another Rap did not tell us anything, but it created excitement.
And Charenga?
Its purpose was to create excitement. Charenga wasn't even a political song. Toka Kwa Barabara was a campaign song. Okay, it had some message, some undertone.
What about the Ngule song?
Ngule is very symbolic.
Yeah.
It's very symbolic. It's political and symbolic at the same time. It's literally telling us that we are in this bad situation, but we should keep on keeping on to see a better day where we shall wear that crown. I'm not saying that. I'm just referencing the lyrics. Yeah.
Where does Abantu Wako fall in that category?
It's a very political song. It's not a very political song.
Where does it fall in that category? And, yeah.
I think Walukaga is one of the most conscious artists that even the police should be wary of when they are looking at people. Because, I mean, Bobby Wine's music will not get played and we shall get it off the internet. Walukaga's music will get played because they do not believe it's a threat, but that song will be heard by a guy that only has access to a radio and he doesn't have access to the internet and the TV. And then he sings it in Luganda, which those people really do understand. There are no patois, there is nothing like people will not understand him. Like, he sings in a language many people relate to, and he sings about things people are actually going through. Like, when he sings about the increasing prices, those people are actually experiencing it. I think Walukaga is more political than some of the people that they are calling political at the moment.
So can we actually use music as a source of identity to identify certain groups?
Music has always been used to identify groups. Like, you can't hear Nankas and you believe that's not from Buganda, or you can't hear a talking drum and you do not believe it's from the West Africa. Like, music, as I keep telling people, art is the way of life. Many of the musical instruments we are using today were used to communicate. In Buganda, there were drums that were called, I think, entamivu, that was used for battle. If you're to put it on a sound today, a Muganda who actually knows something about entamivu will know what you're doing, and they will kind of relate to that sound. So music and the sound, or music and everything it stands for, usually points to a certain identity. We always use music to
because
identify.
You have people who identify with Bobby Wine's music, you have people who identify with Bebe Cool's music. So the people on Bebe Cool's side would appear to look like the NRM people.
No, those people
the
don't
people
identify
Bobby Wine's,
with it. They like the music.
They just like the music.
They just like the music. I do not really think the people that like Bebe Cool's music in any way. Okay, some of them, but I don't think all of them like movement.
And the
as
people
per se.
on Bobby Wine's side who listen to his music, are they from the ghetto? Because we are talking about identity music. From the ghetto?
Some songs Bobby Wine does really touch on the core ghetto-ness of the people. And some songs Bobby Wine does really talk about, really people relate with it because of the situations they are in. When it's
Edutainment, that's what he calls it.
yes, the edutainment part of it.
You educate and entertain.
Some people relate to it because of the situations they are in, or if they went through those situations at one point. When he sings about what he went through when he was still in the ghetto, like many of us relate. When he sings about what he thinks Uganda should be, there are many people that relate, and there are those that look at it and they're like, yeah, we want that Uganda, but it's not as bad as you're saying it is. So people relate whether they support or do not support. But for Bobby Wine's music, for Bebe Cool's music, that's more mainstream or commercial. Like, I don't think when I listen to a song like Waya Waya and I like it, I definitely like movement.
Can we actually use music as a unifying factor to bring the different the diversity in Uganda into one fold? In the past, it has worked.
In the past, it worked. At the moment, it's kind of hard because artists are very, very separated.
Can we use that music to harmonize the political space?
It's going to be hard before the elections.
Why?
Because at the moment, music and the space music has, or even art generally, is being used as the battleground, which makes it so hard for you to think about unifying artists in the situations that are happening at the moment. Like, I mean, you have fans pelting other people with bottles.
Wow.
So how are you going to get people to sit on the same table when they are still pissed?
So there is no compromise.
Someone else hit them with the bottles. Until this entire election madness is done, which will be done like by March next year.
Yeah.
Until all this is gone, maybe people will come back to
their
sanity
senses.
and they're like, okay, we are supposed to be doing music. Unfortunately, by the time that happens, many people won't even be in the industry.
Andrew Kagwa, an arts and culture journalist with the Daily Monitor. Thank you for having made the time to speak to us. The conversation has been centered on the fact that music and politics are actually very, very much intertwined in that regard. So we've been trying to make sense of that. Music is a sound, not the person in that regard. So do not focus on the person behind the mic, but the music that they are putting out there and the purpose or the effect of that music. Right about now, we're going to take a very short break and return with another conversation. Domo Vamaso.